Okay everybody, let's get started with our kitten tutorial. We're going to start out with our same Rice Krispie treat base like we did with the puppy dog in the previous video. And this has been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple hours, so it's nice and firm. And we're going to go ahead and cover the whole structure in our fondant and modeling chocolate combination like we did the last time. This is the basis for how I do a lot of my figures. Sometimes it's covered, sometimes it's not, but usually I start with a covering and build up and color from there. You could also start with colored fondant modeling chocolate mixture. If you were making something that had a colored base like a woman's face, you might want to pre-color your modeling chocolate and fondant like an ivory color before you start adding it onto your Rice Krispie treats to kind of save yourself a step. I'm smoothing everything out with our modeling tool and just continuing to add the mixture until it's totally covered. We're going super speed now, so you just kind of get the gist of what we're doing here. I don't want to bore you with little details since we've already done this once with the puppy dog, but I didn't want to leave it out just in case you skipped ahead and did the kitten first. It's just smushing it right on there. Make sure your fondant and modeling chocolate mixture is at least 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick so that we have room to put in the features of the nose and the eyes and all that stuff without running into Rice Krispie treat underneath. We use our fingers to make 2 indentations of where the eyes are going to be, just like we did with the puppy dog. And then use a little bit of water on your hands to smooth out any rough spots. And it just kind of helps your fingers glide over the mixture a little bit easier. Go ahead and add a little bit of a piece of the fondant modeling chocolate for the muzzle area. Smooth out those edges with your modeling tool. This tool is great for getting out those little crevices and making smooth transitions. Make sure you don't make this too big. It's not a dog, it's a kitty. They don't have that huge of a muzzle. It's very pointed looking. That's the difference between a cat's face and a dog's face, is their eyes are very much the focus of their face, and then their muzzle is very small. Build up the back of the head. If you look at a cat's head, the top of their head is very flat. So don't forget to make sure that the back of the head is deep enough and that the top is nice and flat. Of course, different cats have different, shaped heads, so pay attention to your photo, your reference photo. You can't see my reference photo right now, but I am looking at one on my laptop just off to the right. Just continuing to smooth out the features of everything. And to make the nose, it's just much like the dog. 2 little angled lines to define the nose, and then 3 for the little line in the middle and then the mouth. And then I just kind of curve that line up a little bit so that the cat looks like it's smiling. And then use your fingers to sort of make the bottom mouth area rounded and, smooth out those lines and stuff that you've made with your modeling tool. Make the transitions a little bit smoother. All those little details and stuff just help your cat look more realistic, more natural, not just like you threw a line on the face and then that's it. Again, with the little piece of fondant on the chest, that just sort of defines the chest area, makes it a little bit more realistic. I mean, if you were making this into like a standing cat and not sitting in a basket, when you added the arms to the side, that little chest piece makes it a little bit more realistic because the legs would go on either side of that. Use the ball tool to create an indentation of where the eyes are going to go, just like we did with the puppy. Nice big eyes for a kitty. try and make sure that they're level. And then go ahead and roll up some black fondant and insert that into the hollowed out area. And instead of rolling out 2 skinny pieces of black fondant and putting them around the eye, this time I just used my modeling tool to kind of define that area. You can do it either way. Sometimes I like to mix it up and just do something a little bit different. Or more likely I just didn't remember how I did it the last time. So I just made a little indentation to create that line around the eyes. And when you do this, it kind of smushes the eyeballs a little bit, kind of makes them lose their cute shape. So definitely go back with some more modeling chocolate fondant mixture and redefine those eyebrow areas, add some more to the bottom area underneath the eyes, so that your cat has that character again. Just like we did with the puppy, you want to create nice expressive eyebrows. Which sounds funny because cats don't have eyebrows, but they kind of do. And that shadow, when you put that eyebrow piece above the eye, that shadow that is created when the light's coming from up above gives it that kind of kitty, like, pet me, look, I'm so cute, look at me, don't you want to give me some milk? And without that, then the cat kind of looks just blank. And you'll notice I put another piece right in the middle. So it's almost like creating like a unibrow. But that sharp ridge is part of the defining feature of a cat. If you look at some photos on Google of a cat profile, you can really understand sort of the head shape. Very flat on top, this sort of sharp ridge over where the eye area is, little tiny nose, big eyes. You see how sharp that ridge is? It's almost square. Just using some water to smooth out all my lines. Add some little ears to each side, just very slightly hollowing out the center part, just to give the idea of the inside of the ear. Keep these ears small. Kittens have very tiny ears. The bigger their ears are, the older the cat is. So if you want your cat to look young, then you gotta make tiny ears. Smooth out the edges again with our modeling tool. And you could just leave it just like this if you wanted to. Again, use the phone to make sure that everything looks proportionate. I felt like the left eyebrow needed a little bit more bulking up compared to the right. Of course, do this before you start adding on color, because once the color's on there, it kind of stuck. Just defining my little mouth area a little bit more, nose area a little bit more. This is what I call the fussing stage. I just start fussing with everything. Adding a little bit more fondant underneath the eyes so that I can kind of define that cute little shape a little bit better. You see, it's not a round, it's more of like an almond shaped eye. And you could put texture lines on the cat like we did with the puppy, but for this I just preferred to keep it smooth because it's like a short hair kitty. You can see my little reference photo in the back. Those little droopy ears just really got me. So cute. I just love kittens. They're so cute. I love it when they make that little moo, moo, mew sound when they're really young. Alright, starting to add our airbrush color. This is just black airbrush. Now, I know before I said that I usually layer up my colors, but in the case of a gray cat, I just went ahead and just used straight black. If this was an orange cat, I would have put down a layer of yellow first and then orange over the top, and maybe even a little bit of brown. Now, I'm not the best airbrusher, so please, by all means, do not send me hate mail telling me that I'm a terrible airbrusher. I do the best I can. I just basically put on small amounts and try and build up the color as best I can. That's my advice to all of you guys out there who are not strong airbrushers too. Slow and steady. Just build up your color. I'm looking at my reference photo to just kind of figure out where my lines are while also trying not to block the camera. Not very easy. I'm kind of softening my lines with a little bit more. Please ignore my terribly messy countertop. Got a lot of stuff going on at once. I'm sure you guys can all relate out there. Just adding some light dusting of gray to the back. Just some stripes. In hindsight, I should have put more stripes down along the back because I ended up not covering that area when I finished the cake, but it's fine. I thought about going back, but I decided not to. More fussing. Fuss, fuss, fuss. The fact that my hands are shaky really lent to those wiggly lines. Sometimes I get nervous when I'm doing these videos. My hands get a little shaky, but it looked okay. Put some little spots on the muzzle area for the whiskers. And then our corn syrup and vodka mixture to shine up the nose and the eyes. And I actually went back in with even a little bit of my black food color and painted over the nose because I just felt like it wasn't quite defined enough. And just kind of brought out that shine and definition a little bit more. And then of course our little white dots that bring our little kitty to life. Life spots, life dots, I call them. And there we are, all finished with the kitty. Next up, the basket and assembling our cake.